Hey ho, hey y'all, what's going on? Look, we all got black shirts on. Look at that. Okay,
We always do something similar.
don't we? Don't we?
Yes.
That just shows how we're all on the same frequency there. That's it. Alignment. That's what they call it. All right, affirmers. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Just plain old hello. How you doing today? Okay. So we're back for another amazing episode. My name is Karon Fayerweather, and I am also known as the Affirmation Whisperer. You can follow me on all the socials at Karon Fayerweather, and I am on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, all of them. And I have a lot going on. I'm not going to dig into that because you can figure that out. I want to talk about my co-hosts, what they have going on. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Miss Marcy with Marcy Moments. Yes, just about every morning on IG, she comes out live and gives some amazing gems and talk about the ancestors and the things you need to be doing and all that. Listen, plug in with her. Make sure you follow her on all the socials. She also has Thursday Therapy podcast on Thursdays on Facebook and IG. Want to make sure you check her out, her and her co-host over there. We are busy, y'all. We got this podcast, we got other podcasts, we got our own thing, we got our thing, we got it all going on. But you know what? We are making impact. So make sure you check her out over there on Facebook and IG with Thursday Therapy podcast, where they are giving all the tea on how we should maintain our mental health and the importance of doing so. Last but not least, we have Miss hashtag Her Chosen Story with Clivia. She's an editor. She has a Facebook group. She has a podcast. She's on what is it? Oh gosh, what's your
Spotify?
Spotify.
That's YouTube.
Yes, she's Spotify, YouTube.
She's an interviewer.
All the things.
She has a book.
I love you guys.
She has a magazine. She has all the things. When I tell y'all, we all have stuff going on. And I haven't talked much about this, but you guys will see this soon. I have a third book that has been released, and it's called Go Be Great. It's 100 affirmations for high school graduates, and graduation season is coming up, y'all. So you will hear more about this book. But again, that's enough about me. Today's topic, y'all, is what?
The power of
affirmations.
Ooh,
the power of positive affirmations. Now, I have a book, also another book, my first book, The Power of Positive Affirmation, Positive Self-Talk for Children. But today we're all about the women. There it is. There it is.
Olivia has a book. From A to Z. Yes, I am.
Does. Yes, she does.
I got them at my right hand.
You can tell we're all about.
And in the book Finding Hope, you can't see it. In my chapter, in the chapter with affirmations.
Okay, so you probably couldn't see those books really clear, but we're going to link them in the comments for the show, so you can go and grab a copy of them, of all of our books, because we try to keep things centered on what this podcast is about. You won't find us doing a lot of marketing about other things, but that was time for our shout out, so we took that advantage, right? However, the power of positive affirmations, especially for us women that are 40 and up. You're like, Karon, why are you always talking about women who are 40 and up? Because that's where we are. Let's be real. That's us. I don't want to talk about when I was in my 20s. That's done and over. I cannot change that.
20 plus years ago.
Exactly. I cannot change that. But what I can change is my present and my future, how I see myself, how I talk nicely to myself. Hashtag speak nicely to myself, right?
Yeah.
That's what I can change. So we are here today to talk about the power of positive affirmations. Now, just as I did when we had the morning show, we had the morning room, I would say frequently that affirmations are absolutely magical, but they are not a magic trick. Yes, saying words that you have strung together to empower you in an area where you may be a little deficient on, or to remind you of your awesomeness, right? Whatever perspective you want to take. However, Even if in the beginning you don't believe them, but you have an expectation of believing in what you're saying, that's where the magic happens. Because you are reminding yourself, and I always think about Miss Marcy when I say this story of how in the beginning, when you are, as my tagline for my brand, the Affirmation Whisperer says, re-engineering your mindset one affirmation at a time. Because literally that's what you are doing when you are speaking these words to yourself and over yourself. You are re-engineering how you think about yourself, because what you think you will say, what you say you will do, right? Why do you think they tell us not to be listening to all kind of crazy stuff when we fall asleep? Because you might live that out. You will live that out. Now, you will live that out in some form or fashion. So when we have our self-talk, especially with our self-talk, when we're getting dressed in the morning. I was I had an interview with Lennis with the Vibe Wellness community on Monday, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And that was one of the things that came up about that self-talk when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, and instantaneously you start picking yourself apart. Oh my God, I got another pimple. Oh my God, my nose this. Oh my Lord, my teeth that. Just all kind of carrying on. And you know the funny part about it, Lennis and I said this, we teach this stuff, but we don't teach ourselves like we should. Now we absolutely believe everything we say. But our consistency with speaking well about ourselves, our consistency of correcting our self-language, our self-talk, that talk that goes on in your head, when we have our quiet moments, right? When we have our quiet moments and we are allowing, and I know every one of us here can say this, we will have a thought and don't even realize that we have gotten on the bandwagon of that thought until we're 10 miles down the road and you realize, wait, what am I thinking about? Why am I allowing myself to entertain such a negative thought about myself? Then I started backtracking. Well, how did I get to this thought? What even started me on this thought? And usually is when I'm fearful about something, I'm doubting myself about something, or I just absolutely don't believe in my own ability. So I start thinking those negative thoughts. And if I'm not careful, I am way down the road with that thought, entertaining what isn't true.
Yeah.
I'll say that again, entertaining what isn't true. So then I got to go back, dismiss all that, cancel that negative talk that I have just given myself, and replace that with empowering words. Because in my belief, I am absolutely capable of doing all things that have been placed in front of me to do. I'm capable. But all too often we let past mistakes dictate what we can or cannot do. And as we said in the previous episode, the opinions of others dictate how we and how long, how much, we allow the noise. Miss Clivia had a wonderful way of saying that we allow the noise to come in and just get us distracted. So those affirmations, the power of positive affirmations, when you string those words together, our producer, Miss H.E.R, she might not want me to share this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. She has her affirmations are mind blowing. Y'all remember in the affirmation room, the affirmations used to drop? And the only reason why I say she used to, because we don't have that room anymore. But when I say mind blowing affirmations that make you like, what? What did she just say? So yes, I said that about you, Miss Mel. But my point is that you decide what you're going to put in your affirmation. It's not for me. I do assist others with customized affirmations. That's another subject. Right now, you decide what it is that you want to reaffirm yourself about. And you know what I recommend? If you are brand new to affirmations, I recommend starting with maybe one or two affirmations that you begin to repeat to yourself at a particular time of the day, every day. Because you got to start that habit, right? So with the affirmations, getting back to the affirmations, Miss Marcy, getting back to the affirmations, I was laughing at our producer just put a comment. You're welcome. Getting back, Getting to back to the affirmations, Miss Marcy and Miss Clivia, what I would, if you don't mind, share your experience with your affirmation journey. Whatever you want to share with our listeners in the way of your beginning and where you are now. So take it away, ladies.
I could share. We mentioned all of us grew up in the church, and knowing the scriptures, I would say affirmations are in the scriptures. And whether it was Jesus
Absolutely.
speaking or one of the writers speaking, I am the way, the truth, and the life. I
Yeah.
am Alpha and Omega. I am the beginning and the end. And we hear the power of I am, right? And looking at those scriptures, then we can now implement it in our lives. So even in my book, I use different scriptures to help me, right? And when I chose even the topic of the book, I am from A to Z, it was easy for me to flow with those letters, A to Z, because sometimes we think a little too hard. Like you said, start with one, start with two. And I remember in 2020, we know 2020 was a year, right? It
Mhm.
started off, I would say March. It started off as a tough one for many.
Mhm.
And I remember sitting in my living room, not discouraged or anything, but I just felt to write this I am book. And that's where, I was able to choose these 26 words to describe how I was feeling at that time, to encourage myself. And then I only did it as an ebook. So whoever finds the book, they can encourage themselves. So it was just one line of affirmation and a scripture. And after meeting this queen, Karon, in the morning affirmation room, I shared it before, where there was this maybe a fear or something just keeping me silent, where I knew I had a voice, that I can speak the power of I am over my life because I've done it before. I've read it in the scriptures. And there was a day you said, come up on the stage. You don't have to say much. You don't have to say anything. Just come up. And I did come up, and it took me a while to really speak. But from even then on, to understand that my words have power.
Yes.
And I know we're going to share a few things on what affirmations do for us. And there was one
Mhm.
thing that stood out to me: it supports and our goals. It supports us achieving those goals.
Yeah.
And again, I did the ebook in 2020, and being in that space, I was encouraged to now have it where people can feel these words, not just read it where they're sliding their fingers, but to
Mhm.
do a paperback. So I added stories of 26 different women sharing struggles and how they were able to overcome with the power of affirmations. And again,
Mhm.
it's not anything it's not magic,
Right.
right? But it's magical when you
Mhm.
experience what affirmations can do.
Yes.
In
Yes.
2023, I wrote, I ask, I seek, I knock, I'm ready. I didn't know what I was saying, but I was affirming those words every
Mhm.
single day, and it came to pass. So sometimes it may not happen. I'm going to be rich. A lot of people might say that. Don't expect it might happen suddenly, yes, but it takes time. And as long as you believe it,
Yeah.
you'll receive it for sure.
Lovely. Lovely.
Well, I must say, affirmation saved my life.
Yeah.
I was in a point. I was destroyed. I was absolutely destroyed. And like I said, being in the rooms that we were in, um, we had another young lady. Oh, her name just escaped my mind. But then Karon came, and that I said, Christina planted the seed, and then Karon came and watered the seed of affirmation, and I thank God for it every day, because without affirmations, without using these luxury words to describe me,
Ooh, love that.
I would not be the who I am today.
Mhm.
The way God orchestrated it, because I was saying affirmations and I didn't even believe the words
Mhm.
that I was saying,
Yeah.
until one day the words that I was saying, because they were powerful words, because I walk in power, I talk in power, everything I do is powerful.
Mhm.
Then I started
Preach, girl.
do
Preach.
what God had already appointed this. That's when these luxury words started being my life. That started being a staple. Now, when people
Yeah.
ask me how I'm doing, I'm amazing. I
Yeah.
woke up even more amazing than I was yesterday, and I didn't think it could happen. But God said, "Hey, she's going to be even more amazing today." And
That's
people
right.
like, they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a lot because I know I've been through so much. The
Yes.
words
Yes.
that I had to, the words that were thrown at me that tried to destroy me, I had to go ahead and set those words to the side. And
Yes.
this luxury of
Speak those
vernacular
words.
that I need to use for when it
Yeah.
comes to me, because
Yeah.
I am popular, I am beautiful, I am all things wonderful.
From A to
And
Z.
that's all I believe. That's
Yeah.
all I
Mhm.
believe, because there's nothing you could tell me. There's nothing you can say to me now. Was not always that way.
Right.
But sweetheart, there's nothing you can say to me that makes me doubt that I am the one that God has chosen to
That's right.
walk in my power. And I
Yeah.
stand firmly in that, because I am God's favorite daughter.
Woo! There it
That's right.
is. Yes, yes. Look, I hope you
Right.
all can feel what we're putting
That
out,
energy.
because
That's right.
the passion that we have for affirmations, because although we have somewhat different journeys of how we got to the point of beginning our affirmation practice, the outcome was the same for us, that we experienced differently,
Mhm.
that we came out more empowered, believing in ourselves. And for Miss Marcy to use this term, the luxury
Luxury.
vernacular, yes, I
Yes.
am loving that, because as I saw the transformation in her myself, I saw the courage build in Miss Clivia. I witnessed this transformation of both of them myself, so I can
Right.
speak to this thing, and I experienced my own transformation. My book, Life Rediscovered, 90-Day Journal, is a blueprint of a portion of what I used to rediscover who I was. And that book is laced with affirmations and activities, because let me tell y'all, I don't care what nobody says. And I'm going to say it again. I don't care what nobody says. When you learn to speak better about yourself, there is next to nothing that you can't accomplish.
That's right.
That's facts right there, because when you can drown out the noise of other people and listen to what God has put in you and listen to his voice of what he's telling you to do, ain't nothing you can't
Baby.
do it.
Yep.
There's nothing you can't do.
Hmm.
Too many times, and I'm guilty of this too, that we allow the noise to distract us and cause us to doubt our abilities, capabilities, gifts, and talents. What?
Yes.
So,
And
speaking kindly to yourself, reminding yourself of who you are and whose you are,
That's right.
reminding you that there is no lack. People all around us, leaders, are doing all kind of crazy stuff right now. But what are you rooted in? Are you
Right.
believing in what you've been told over and over again? Are you understanding that as long as you are here, you got something to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, but reminding yourself of just how capable you are. Our words, y'all. I don't know how else to say this. Your words can literally empower you or
Oh,
disempower you.
prison. Yeah. Yeah.
it can empower you or imprison you.
There you
Right.
go.
That's right.
There you go. So the words of, let's say these, and I'm not talking about myself. I'm just using some words. They don't belong to nobody in this space. But I'm ugly. I'm unattractive. I'm not smart. I
Hmm.
can't. I don't know how to. I have
Hmm.
never. I will never. All those kinds of words. I have said those before.
Hmm.
I've let those words come from my mouth. They were thoughts of mine, right, Miss Marcy? What you was gonna say this then?
Yeah. You know what? And at one point in my life, somebody was pouring so much negativity into me, and I accepted those words, that I wasn't good enough, that I was ugly, that I didn't. I accepted those words, and those words ran in my head. They
Mm,
was rent free in my head until God had to allow me to stay that far down into my depression. And then when, like I said, just learning, being on a path with you in learning how to do your affirmation, because this is a process.
It
This is the
is.
Yeah.
process,
Mm-hmm.
because I was writing, I do not want you to know your affirmations is nothing that you do not. It's all I have, I receive, I feel,
I
um,
will. Yeah.
I
I
will,
shall.
I
Yeah.
am, I think, I
All the
go.
chakras. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
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 So,
Mm-hmm.
learning that process of what to do and what not to do, and then unlearning and getting those negative thoughts from yourself, getting those negative thoughts from other people. And I must say that the person that was saying these words to me, and I allowed them, they hated me. They
Mm.
hated me, but I allowed myself to sit in their hate for
Yeah.
me and believe it. But sweetheart, now today, baby, what you won't do. And then we do say what you won't do, but I'm gonna let you know what they won't do.
You
Never.
ain't gonna do.
What you ain't gonna do is ever talk about
Right.
me in a way in that manner, because I
Mm-hmm.
will tap dance on your head. Keep it clean, keep it PG, keep it PG.
I want
But
to share an experience. You mentioned the word process, definitely a process, and I witnessed it even with my children just today. And I'm gonna share two things. I just texted my son randomly, "You are loved," and he
Mm.
said, "Wow, mom, could you send that every day?"
Mm.
And that was, he wanted to be affirmed, and we say I love you every day, but those three words, "You are loved," it did something to him. He's like, "I love you too, mom." And I'm like, okay, that's good, that's good. So even me learning, I need to affirm them even more. I shared some time ago, Zaria had experiences with some really bad breakouts with eczema, and her self esteem, I think at the time she might have been 7 or 8, was really, really low. And we started just practicing affirmations. And when I released the book of affirmations, we would just go over them, go through them. She would read them. And we had a morning ritual where every day driving to school, Zaria, what's your affirmations for the day from A to Z? And she would just spit out 26 affirmations just like that.
Right.
And it became a thing. And sometimes I would forget. And she's like, "Mom, we didn't do our affirmations today." So even that, and that really helped build her confidence. And today, I mean, her skin is glowing. And I know it's because she believed in the word. She believed she was beautiful. Her doctor even encouraged her. Um, your skin doesn't define you. And that was an affirmation that she needed to hear. Your skin does
Yeah.
not define you. And then I have a nephew in Brooklyn, and I bought him some stickers, and I stuck one of the stickers on a water bottle so he could see it every day. And I said, "What does that say?" And he said, "No bad days." And those three words, "no bad days," he started to affirm them. And every time he misbehaved, he'll be so guilty. And he'd be like, "Auntie, no bad days, right?" And I'm like, "No, no bad days." And even at the time he was 3. So for a 3-year-old to affirm, for a 7-year-old, now 10-year-old affirming, and my son 13 wanting to be affirmed, our boys need affirmations, right?
Yes, they
We
do.
even think about our men. We had space for men to share that. That's a different level when you can hear men affirm themselves. "I am king. I will take care of my family. I would provide," all those things. So definitely, I've seen change even in my household where
Mhm.
affirmation became a delight for
Yes.
us. Yeah.
That's
it,
wonderful. Thank you, ladies, for sharing those. I wait a minute, Miss Marcia. Look like you need to tell me a little more. What you got to say?
and when you said affirming the children, so my grandson is 2, and my
Mhm.
nickname for him is Marvelous. But
Wow.
I've also layered that with saying, like when I talk to him in the morning, I was like, his name is Maverick. I said, Maverick, you are amazing. I said, say it with me. He said,
Hmm.
amazing, amazing. Okay, that works. That works. But guess what? At 2,
He'll
he
get the
made
AM
it.
too.
But from his lips to God's ears,
Right.
he knows
Mhm.
exactly what it is.
Hmm.
And this is, and I wish, of course, we all wish that we had parents that would
Right.
have affirmed us. Jesus,
Yes.
the world would be a better place. But I realized that, because with your children's books, Karon, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, yes, this is what I have to instill in
Hmm.
my
Yes.
grandson,
Absolutely. Hmm.
because of the simple fact. He is King of Kings. He is the ruler of the world, and he will do it in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he has to know that he's amazing. He's amazing. He amazing.
Yeah.
Listen, he
Yeah.
amazing. That's
He
right.
Amazing. We got the AM.
yeah.
Amazing. Karan, I want to take this opportunity to just give you your flowers. I don't take this for granted at all. Just being on this stage, and I mean the inspiration you have given to us, and I'm sure so many, and even those listening, we
Mm.
thank you. I thank you. So take a
Yes.
bow, Queen, and maybe you didn't even know years ago that this would have been what you was doing, changing lives. And I mean, even us
No.
three speaking life into those girls every other Tuesday, we're seeing change slowly but
Yeah.
surely. So I
Yeah.
applaud you. I give you your virtual flowers. You'll get some real ones soon, or maybe a plant to add to your stock. But we definitely appreciate you. We love you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you so
And
Hmm.
I
much.
know I've always told you, thank you for doing what God told you to do.
Yes. Yes, you
Because
have.
of the simple
Accepting
fact,
your calling. Yeah.
yes, because we birth nations.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have definitely birthed nations.
Thank you,
Yeah.
ladies. I think about what Miss Clivia said, how you don't see yourself where you're at before you got there.
Hmm.
It was never, I had no second thought about modding a clubhouse room for 3 years at
Right.
6:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then going over to another. No vision for that whatsoever. But what I did, y'all, I answered the call.
That's right.
I knew what I was supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
I just resisted because I didn't want to get up there that early in the morning. And I was being told to do it early in the morning, no other time of the day, to do it early in the morning. And as a result of my obedience, I have no number of the amount of people that I was able to impact because I don't
Yes.
know, and I don't need to know. I'm not supposed to
Exactly.
know. I'm just supposed to do what I know that I'm supposed to do. And as a result, look at Miss Marcy. Look at Miss Clivia. Look at Miss H.E.R. And there's so many other names I
So
can
many.
call. And I take no credit for it because they did it
To
for
God be the
themselves.
glory.
Right? They did it for themselves. I
Right.
simply I gave them an offering and they took it and made it
Hmm.
their own. With my children's affirmation book, I'm very passionate about that. Miss Marcy and Miss Clivia mentioned Miss Marcy, myself, and Miss Clivia, we host a girls' private affirmation room every other Tuesday on Facebook. If you want more information on that, please message us. We'll be able to give you more information. But there's a reason for it being private, and there's a reason for it being just the girls right now, because we were girls. And Miss Marcy said, even if had gotten fed how to speak well about ourselves when we were
Just even a
younger,
little bit.
just
Yeah.
a little bit, right? That's
Instead
what
of
we're
being called
doing.
nappy headed and little ugly. Oh God. Look, they say, oh God, you look like your daddy. You're so ugly. Those
Look,
are the things that, but baby,
listen,
guess
but look
what?
at you today. Look at you
Look at these
today.
lips. Look at this skin. My God. And
Look, yes. And this is what we're hoping. Our prayer is the same thing for these girls that attend this room.
That's right.
We having the ability to stand firm in who you are, no matter what's going on outside of you, is a superpower. It is a superpower that's easily attained, but you must be shown the way. And that's what we're doing with this girls' affirmation room that we do every other week. Again, reach out if you want more information. And my book for children, it's right there, because I know as a child, I didn't get affirmed. Things
Right.
happened to me. Devastating things happened to me that I did not get affirmed. That just because that happened, it does not change who you are. I never heard that. Now, no pun on those that were raising me. They did the best they knew how to do. I know better, so I'm doing better. Miss Clivia knows better, she's doing better. Miss Marcy knows better, we're doing better. Each one teach one.
Hmm.
And that's what this podcast is all about. Each
Yes.
one teach one. So as we grow, we share. And as we share, we grow, because we're always opening up another level of understanding for ourselves. The power of positive affirmations. If you truly want to grow, change how you talk to yourself.
That's right.
So I'm going to quickly, because we're going a little long this time, but I'm going to quickly share a couple of tips about the positive, how, blah, blah, blah. Let's start that again. The benefits of affirmations for women, particularly those of us that are in midlife. Affirmations can boost your self-confidence, encourage your personal growth, promote mental clarity, as well as reduce stress and anxiety. When you talk nicely to yourself and start to believe it, look at Miss Marcy. You see how big she smiles? Look at Miss Cookie, how her eyes light up when she started talking about herself. It promotes mental clarity. I
That's
can see
right.
clearly now. The rain is gone. You clear out all that fog
That's
so you
right.
can see yourself better and reduce stress and anxiety. When you are speaking well about yourself, you are reducing the stress because you're not stressing over the noise. You're focusing on who you are and whose you are. So, with that, we're going to get to these affirmations that we have for this show. And this is how we do every show. We close with affirmations. So, mine is I nurture my mind and heart with affirming words, creating a life filled with peace and possibility as I understand what I think, I speak. What I speak, I say. What I say, I do.
I love it.
Right. And I, Marcy, declares joy and success over myself, knowing my words create the world I desire.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
I embrace the power of my thoughts to create a joyful reality.
Yes.
Amen.
Okay.
And our scripture. This is a little paraphrased. Whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, of good report, if there be any virtue, praise, think on those things. Philippians 4, verse 8.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. So, y'all, the power of positive affirmations at any stage of life, they can be very impactful. And it boils down to simply how you choose to talk to yourself. But for us midlifers, for us that are 40 and up, look, it's imperative that we speak well to ourselves because there's so
That's
much
right.
out there trying to tell us what we aren't, that we
Yes.
got to start telling ourselves what we are and start replacing those words. Stop fighting against the negative and start navigating towards the positive. Because if you
Tap into
navigate
it.
towards the positive, there will be no space for the negative.
That's so right. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just that simple, you know?
So
So with that being said, before I cough myself to death out of here, Miss Marcy, what are those closing words that we do at the end of every show?
You are your first priority. So act like it.
Act
act
like
like
it.
it. Do it. Be it.
Oh, yeah, exactly, exactly. With that being said, everybody, affirmers, thank you for being here. Don't forget, make sure that you subscribe, comment, like, share. And if you
Yes.
need to reach out to us for any reason, be sure that you just hit us up on the email address. And we shall see you guys the next time. Peace and blessings
Yeah.
to you all. Bye bye.
I
Bye.
see.